Hey everyone, welcome back to San Diego Real Estate Edge. There's a lot going on in the market that you should know about. I'm going to go over that stuff. This week was a crazy week, so let's just start. I'm Frank Powell, as you know. I'm a licensed real estate broker for 20 years. I'm with my good friend and my colleague, Cathy Sabater, the loan officer extraordinaire. And we're going to sit here, cut through all the noise, and focus on what actually matters this week in the San Diego real estate market.
Okay, well, Frank, let's start with the big picture, right? What's happening right now in the San Diego County residential market?
Right now, in the last week, we saw about 1,050 new listings countywide, and we're going from one week to the next. So
Hmm.
that's up roughly 6%. So
Okay.
first time we've seen an uptick in that 6%. I can explain why that's happening.
Okay.
And the escrows are closed. They come in around 725. That's the ones that close, which tells us it's starting to be a bit more supply than demand.
Hmm.
So that's a big turn. Usually, it's supply and demand. Usually there's more houses or less houses and more buyers. Well, now we're starting to see it where there's more buyers and less houses, which hasn't been.
Okay. So then how does that affect the balance between the buyers and the sellers?
Well, we're still at historically low on inventory, but buyers now have slightly more options. The sellers don't have an automatic leverage unless the home is priced well and prepared
Hmm.
correctly to the market.
Now that's interesting because we talked about it before and pricing is a big deal, right? And sellers, what they want and what they expect. However, what's the median home price compared to last week?
Compared to last week and also compared to several weeks back, it's right around 900,000.
Hmm.
So that hasn't changed. That's almost like a flat. So
Okay.
that tells us like, it's a stable pricing trend. It's still stable. No one's flexing up or down. So it's kind of like hovering at 900,000.
Okay. So then let's talk about what's actually as far as property types, because I know there's sometimes they're condos, they're homes. Does that take a play in regards to the median home price?
Well, let's talk about the numbers. Roughly about 725 closed escrow,
Hmm.
about 460 were single family homes, and approximately 265 were condos or townhomes. So that showing of detached home is still a lead demand, but it's very good to also invest in condos. So basically, everyone still wants a single family residence by about double, but the condos are really selling as well.
Right. So then as far as the trend is concerned, um, week to week, what are we seeing?
What we're seeing is buyers are getting a selection without chasing prices, and sellers need to be strategic.
Hmm.
Pricing and presentation matter more than momentum right now. So when
Hmm.
you're thinking about putting your house on the market and going back to, the 6% increase from this week to last week,
Right.
those are called early sellers, which means people usually look at putting their houses up in the market around springtime, right? Starts in March.
Right.
So these are the first group of people that go, let's beat the market and put our houses on the market first.
But then they have to be careful because as you just mentioned, pricing is everything, right?
That's where they have to come to terms. Like you cannot look at the market and ignore it. You have to look at the
Hmm.
market and see what's going on in today's market.
Hmm.
So you can't keep saying you want what people were getting a year ago or even 6 months ago. You have to price it accordingly. Like I
Hmm.
said earlier, the buyers have options now. They don't just jump on. We're not seeing a bunch of offers on one house. We're seeing people actually walk away, especially in the condos, even more than the single family houses. If
Hmm.
they go in and they make an offer and they go back and forth too much, the buyers walk away.
Hmm.
We didn't see that before.
Right.
We saw, please take my offer, and we don't see it. So it's it's becoming more stable.
So it's becoming balanced, but it's not yet really a buyer's market because there's not enough inventory.
Correct. And it will never really officially be a buyer's market in San Diego because we just historically we just don't have enough houses for sale, but it is leveling out. It's probably the best we're going to see. This type of leveling I would
Mhm.
think was good because we're not building a lot of new homes.
So in regards to, because you're a realtor and you have the buyer's perspective, you have the seller's perspective, um, what's our final takeaway in regards to what's happening this week in San Diego?
Oh, I'd say the final takeaway is this market is leans more towards preparation over emotion. Okay, so you got to get the emotions out and you got to think like, you're dealing with money, you're dealing with how much you're making, how much you can put out. So don't get emotional about a house that you really, really want. You got to be more strategic and emotions die and preparation is key. So just know the market, be prepared, and go in there solid. So yeah, and you can always reach out to me. I'm at powellhomes@gmail.com, or you could just text me 858-361-2488. That's actually my phone number, and I can guide you through answer questions specifically to your situation, and then you could go through Kathy and make sure that you qualify. Like I've always said in every week, before you call me or a broker that you trust, you have to get a loan officer before you go shopping. You have to
Mhm.
know how much you can actually spend, or you will be upset when you find that home that you can't afford, and then you have to shop lower. So
Mhm.
go in there realistically, call Kathy, get your ducks in a row because she's very important to me. So she tells me, okay, here's what to look for this person that we can close on. That is a real takeaway. Call a lender. Call Kathy. Kathy, give them your contact.
Mhm. My phone number is 619-846-2675. And I love the fact that, remember, we're doing both sides. We're giving you the buyer's perspective. We're also giving you the seller's perspective. So the sellers understand that, hey, I have the price right in order for these buyers to come in. And potentially, because this is what Frank does, he prepares them for both scenarios, right? Because back in the day, we had over asking. We're not getting that now. We're getting, if you're lucky, the purchase price, and then the buyers are asking for some concessions, seller credits. And then on the flip side, sellers usually buy or they're moving on, right? But most of the time, a seller's going to sell to buy or buy to sell, right? And a buyer is in here now. It's like double dutch, right? Get in, get in, get in. And Frank is he got the rope for you. So he's going to help you on both perspective, whether you're a buyer or whether you're a seller. And remember, sellers are also could be buyers as well. So Frank, thank you so much for your time. And I look forward to our talk next week.
And that's why we call you the loan officer extraordinaire, because you know what's going on, and not all lenders know what's going on. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week and see what goes on again.
Okay, bye-bye.